Have you ever wondered why, in the stillness of night, your dog suddenly leans over and licks your hands? It's not salt. It's not food. The truth is far more powerful, so powerful it could forever change the way you see your closest companion. That gentle lick isn't random. It's not some mindless quirk. It is a sacred message carved out of instinct and love that most owners never truly understand. Ignore it, and you turn away from the most emotional declaration your dog will ever give you. And when we reach behavior number 6, I need you to be ready, because almost every owner misunderstands it. And overlooking it means you'll miss the single deepest truth your dog has been trying to tell you, perhaps your entire life. Now, let's begin. Number 1. Jumping with joy. When you come home, you open the door, and before you can even take off your shoes, it happens. A storm of fur and energy comes flying at you, your dog leaping tail whipping the air, little cries bursting out, as if you've just returned from months at sea. Many people dismiss it as simple excitement or leftover energy. But here's the truth. This is not about boredom. It's not about hyperactivity. It's about you. In the wild, when pack members are reunited, they greet each other with explosive enthusiasm. Survival depended on bonds being reaffirmed, and your dog carries that ancient instinct in every jump, every whine, every frantic tail wag. To them, your return is the most sacred moment of the day. And here's the part most owners miss: when the storm calms and they finally curl at your feet or press against your side. It isn't the end of the celebration. It's the beginning of a declaration. You are my entire world. But if you think that's powerful, wait until you see what happens when night falls, and your dog chooses where to sleep. That behavior carries an even deeper message, one rooted in safety, family, and love. Number 2. Sleeping close or under the blanket. When the lights go out and the world grows quiet, where does your dog choose to be? If you've ever woken up to find them curled against your back, pressed against your legs, or even burrowed under your blanket, you might have thought, oh, they just like the warmth. But the truth is far more profound. Dogs are pack animals, and in the wild, sleeping close wasn't about comfort, it was about survival. It meant safety, it meant trust, it meant family. When your dog chooses to sleep against you, even though they have their own bed, it's not convenience. It's devotion. It's their way of saying, I belong to you, and you belong to me. And here's the fascinating part. Science shows that when you and your dog sleep close, both of your bodies release oxytocin, the very same hormone that bonds mothers to their newborn babies. That drowsy sigh you hear before they drift off. That's not just relaxation, it's the sound of love settling into place. But if you think falling asleep together is the ultimate sign of trust, wait until you feel what happens when their eyes lock with yours. Because in that quiet gaze lies a message so deep, it's as if your dog is handing you their very heart. Number 3. Soft eye contact with you. There's a moment every dog owner knows, but few ever stop to question. You're sitting quietly, maybe reading, maybe lost in thought, and then you feel it, that steady gaze. You look up, and there they are, eyes soft blinking slowly, staring right into you. Most people shrug it off, thinking, cute, they're watching me. But no, this is not about curiosity. This is one of the most intimate gestures a dog can ever give. In the animal world, direct eye contact is often a challenge, even a threat. But when your dog chooses to look deep into your eyes without fear, they are doing something extraordinary. They are surrendering their trust. Science has proven that this gentle eye contact triggers the release of oxytocin, the love hormone in both of you, the same chemical bond that ties human parents to their children. When your dog holds your gaze, they are not just looking at you, they are giving you their heart. And here's where it gets even more powerful. If you respond with a soft smile, a gentle touch, or a whisper of kindness, that bond doubles like a loop of love, closing tighter around you both. But their love doesn't stop with their eyes. Sometimes they need to show it by bringing you something precious, even if it looks like nothing but a ragged toy. Number 4. Bringing you toys or random objects. One day you're sipping your coffee, and suddenly your dog trots over, tail wagging, with a ragged old toy hanging from their mouth. Sometimes it's not even a toy, it might be a sock or something you didn't even know was lying around the house. Most owners laugh, maybe even scold them, thinking it's just mischief. But that's not what's happening. This is your dog giving you a gift. In the wild, wolves share prey as a sign of loyalty and trust. That instinct never disappeared, it lives on in your dog. When they drop something at your feet, they're saying, "I want to share my joy with you. What's mine is yours." And it doesn't matter if it's a dirty sock or a slobbery ball. To them, it's the best they have, and you are the only one worthy of receiving it. But here's the part that will stop you cold. Sometimes this offering isn't just play, it's a declaration. You are my chosen family. And if you think a tattered toy on the floor carries weight, just wait until the quiet of night, when their tongue touches your hands in the dark. That's not only a gift, that's the purest confession of love you will ever feel. Number 5. Licking your hands at night. The house is dark, the world is quiet, and you're just about to drift into sleep. Then you feel it, that sudden gentle touch of a wet tongue across your hands. Some people laugh it off, some find it strange, but almost everyone misses the truth. Because this moment, this nightly ritual, is not random. It's not about the taste of your skin. It's not about food at all. When your dog licks your hands at night, they are checking on you. It's an instinct born from puppyhood, when newborns licked their mother for warmth and comfort. Scientists have found that licking lowers stress and even raises oxytocin levels, the same hormone that bonds us to the people we love most. In that quiet darkness, your dog is saying, "I feel safe with you. I need you to feel safe with me." That simple gesture is both love and medicine for them and for you. But here's the part almost no one realizes. Sometimes dogs lick at night because they sense more than emotions. They can pick up on your stress, your sadness, even changes in your body. Stories of dogs detecting illness long before doctors confirm it aren't fairy tales. They're proof of a connection we can barely comprehend. So the next time your dog licks your hands in the stillness of night, don't brush it away. Listen, because that lick might be their way of whispering, "You are my safe place. You are my home." And if that feels overwhelming, wait until you see what happens when danger approaches. Because that's when love transforms into something fierce, something unshakable. Protection. Number 6. Standing protectively in front of you. Have you ever noticed it? You're out for a walk, or maybe welcoming a guest, and suddenly your dog stiffens. Their ears perk up, their body shifts, and before you know it, they've stepped right in front of you, forming a living shield. Many owners laugh and think, "Oh, how funny, they're being bossy." But here's the truth. This is the behavior almost everyone misunderstands. Your dog isn't trying to control you. They're not being rude. What they're doing is far deeper, born from a primal instinct that stretches back to wolves guarding their pack. In that split second when they place themselves between you and what they perceive as a threat, they are making a choice. If something happens, let it come to me first. That isn't dominance. That is love in its most fearless form. And if you've ever doubted the depth of your dog's devotion, remember this moment. Even the smallest Chihuahua, even the gentlest Spaniel, when they love you deeply enough, will try to stand between you and danger. Not because they're trained, but because their heart demands it. But what happens when love asks for the opposite? When instead of standing guard, your dog flips onto their back, exposing the most vulnerable part of their body. That, too, is a message most owners fail to see, and it may be the purest act of trust a dog can ever give. Number 7. Rolling onto their back. You've seen it 100 times. Your dog flops onto the floor, legs in the air, belly completely exposed. Most people laugh, bend down, and think, oh, they just want a belly rub. And yes, sometimes that's true. But the deeper truth is far more moving. Because in the animal world, the belly is the most vulnerable place of all. No creature shows it unless they are certain they can trust the one beside them. When your dog rolls over and offers you their belly, they are surrendering in the most beautiful way. They are saying, I am defenseless, and I trust you not to hurt me. It's a level of vulnerability that humans rarely give even to each other. And when you gently stroke their belly, instead of ignoring it, you are strengthening a bond built on pure trust. Think about it. This is the same creature that would stand between you and danger, yet in the very next moment they collapse at your feet, opening themselves up completely. Love and loyalty, courage and surrender, all woven into one silent gesture. But if you think that trust ends when the belly is exposed, wait until you see what happens when you move across the room. Because there's another behavior that will follow you everywhere like a shadow, and its meaning goes deeper than simple clinginess. Number 8. Following you. Everywhere. You get up to grab a glass of water, and there they are. You walk into the kitchen, step onto the balcony, even head to the bathroom, and your dog follows, padding right behind you like a shadow that refuses to let go. Most people chuckle and think they're just nosy, or maybe they don't have anything better to do. But that's not it. This behavior runs much deeper, and it's one of the clearest windows into your dog's heart. In the wild, no member of the pack ever wandered off alone. Survival depended on staying close, on never losing sight of the leader. And to your dog, you are the pack. You are the leader. Their choice to trail your every step isn't about boredom, it's about love and belonging. It's their way of saying, wherever you go, I want to be there. I don't want a single moment without you. And yet, there's something even more touching. When your dog follows you like this, they're not just guarding. They're studying your rhythms, learning your moods, syncing their world to yours. That quiet devotion is easy to overlook, until they choose to make it unmistakable. Because sometimes they don't just follow. They reach out with a paw, or rest their head on your lap, as if to ask the most human question of all. Do you feel me here with you? Number 9, resting a paw, or head on you. You're sitting on the couch, maybe lost in a TV show or tapping away at your laptop when suddenly you feel it, a gentle weight pressing down. A paw rests on your leg, or a warm head settles onto your lap. Most owners smile for a second, maybe scratch behind an ear, and then go back to what they were doing. But what you might not realize is that this tiny gesture carries a message bigger than words. Dogs don't place their paw on just anyone. That soft touch is not about begging for food or demanding attention. It's an emotional tether, a reminder whispered without sound. Are you still here with me? I need to feel you close. When they press their head into you, it's more than comfort. It's submission wrapped in affection, a way of melting their world into yours. And here's what makes it even more powerful. Dogs often sense when something in you is off, when you're tired, anxious, or sad. That paw on your knee isn't random. It's medicine. It's your dog's way of saying, "Let me carry a piece of your pain. You're not alone." But as tender as this silent question is, wait until you see what happens when the tears actually fall. Because that's when their love takes on a role so profound, it can leave even the strongest person in tears themselves. Number 10. Licking you when you cry. There are moments in life when words fail us. Moments of grief, loneliness, or quiet pain we don't dare to share with anyone. And then, without calling them, your dog comes closer. They look into your eyes, and before you can wipe your tears, you feel it, the soft, insistent lick across your face or hands. Some people laugh it off, saying, "Oh, they just taste the salt of my tears." But that explanation couldn't be further from the truth. Dogs have an extraordinary ability to read human emotions. Studies show they can detect shifts in cortisol, the stress hormone, and adjust their behavior to comfort us. That lick when you're crying isn't about taste. It's about empathy. It's your dog's way of saying, "I see your pain. Let me soothe it. Let me take some of it away." This is not a trick you can train. This is not obedience. This is love in its rawest, most instinctive form. And here's the part that leaves so many owners in tears themselves. Countless people have shared that, in their darkest hours, their dog's simple lick felt like salvation. It was as if the dog was whispering, "You're not alone. I'm here. I always will be." But love isn't always soft. Sometimes it comes with teeth, not in anger, but in play. Because when your dog gently nibbles at you, it's not aggression at all. It's another forgotten language of love. Number 11. Gentle play, biting, nibbling. You're sitting on the floor, maybe tossing a toy, when suddenly your dog leans in and gives you a light nibble on your hand or sleeve. No pain, no aggression, just the soft graze of teeth. Some owners panic for a second, thinking, "Are they trying to bite me?" But in reality, this is something far more innocent and far more beautiful. When puppies are young, they play by mouthing each other, learning how to control the force of their bite. It's how they bond, how they practice trust. So when your adult dog gently nibbles at you, they are reaching back into that primal language. They're not trying to hurt you. They're saying, "You are part of my pack. You are one of mine." And here's what most people never realize: if you respond with joy, if you laugh, if you play back, that tiny ritual strengthens your bond in ways no command ever could. It's a conversation written in instinct, one that says, "We belong together." But as playful as that nibble is, sometimes the touch grows even softer, almost fragile. Because there are moments when your dog simply lays a paw on you without asking for anything at all. And that gesture carries a weight most owners completely overlook. Number 12. Soft pawing without request. It happens quietly. You're not holding a treat, you're not getting ready for a walk, and yet suddenly you feel it. A paw placed gently on your arm, your leg, or even your chest. No barking, no whining, no demand, just that silent touch. Most people smile for a moment and dismiss it as cute. But behind that gesture lies something profound, something most owners never truly recognize. That soft paw isn't about asking for food. It isn't about playtime. It's your dog's way of grounding you, of saying, "Are you still here with me? Don't drift away. I need to feel you close." Dogs are remarkably attuned to human emotions, and studies show they notice subtle shifts in our mood, our tone, even our breathing. That paw is their attempt to anchor you, to remind you that you're not alone. And here's where it gets even more powerful. Dogs often reach out like this when they sense you're tired, anxious, or emotionally off balance. That paw on your leg can be softer than words, more healing than advice. It's not a request, it's a reassurance. But what happens when you don't respond gently? When you scold them or brush them off in frustration? What your dog does next may shock you because it reveals a kind of forgiveness most humans can only dream of. Number 13. Instant forgiveness after scolding. We've all had those moments. You come home tired, maybe stressed, and your dog is underfoot. You snap, raise your voice, or push them away a little too sharply. For a second, their ears fall back, their tail tucks, and guilt hits you like a stone. But then, almost before you can even apologize, you see it, that tail wagging again, those soft eyes looking at you as if nothing ever happened. No resentment, no grudge, just forgiveness. Most of us carry hurt for years. Humans replay arguments, hold grudges, build walls. But dogs, they live in the present moment. Their love for you is stronger than your mistakes. When they come back, wagging, leaning into you only moments after being scolded, they're saying, "I choose love over memory. I choose you." And here's the truth that shakes many owners to their core. Your dog doesn't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be there trying your best, showing up every day. That kind of unconditional grace is something even we as humans struggle to give. But if you think forgiveness is the height of their devotion, wait until you see what happens when they tilt their head and hang on every word you say. Because that little motion, so often dismissed as cute, is actually one of the clearest signs that your dog is trying to understand your very soul. Number 14. Tilting their head. While you talk. You've seen it 100 times. You start speaking to your dog, and suddenly their head tilts to the side, ears perked, eyes locked on yours. It looks adorable, almost comical, and most people laugh, thinking, "Oh, they're just being cute." But that tilt, it's not a joke. It's one of the clearest signs your dog is trying to understand you. Dogs have an extraordinary sense of hearing, but when they tilt their head, they're not just catching sounds more clearly, they're reading you. They're listening not only to your words, but to the emotion underneath. That tilt is their way of saying, "I'm paying attention. I want to understand what you're telling me, not just with your mouth, but with your heart." And here's the part that gives so many owners chills. In that moment, your dog is communicating back without a single word. They're showing empathy, curiosity, and connection in one simple gesture. For many, that tilt feels more healing than any therapy session because it means you are truly being heard. But what happens when your dog decides listening isn't enough? When instead of tilting their head in silence, they start to talk back in their own voice. That's when your relationship crosses into something even deeper, when your dog turns everyday moments into a private dialogue meant only for the two of you. Number 15. Vocalizing back to you. It starts quietly, maybe a soft whine when you speak, or a low, playful growl when you're laughing together. Some dogs even let out little howls in the morning, or murmurs that sound eerily like words. Many owners chuckle and say, "Oh, they're just making noise." But that's not what's happening. When your dog chooses to vocalize back, they are doing something extraordinary. They are trying to build a language with you. Certain breeds like huskies or malamutes are famous for their talking, but even the quietest dogs will find their voice if you've spent years speaking with them, listening to them, connecting with them. Those whines, howls, and soft rumbles aren't random sounds. They are attempts at dialogue. It's your dog's way of saying, "I don't just listen to you, I want you to hear me too." And here's what most owners overlook when your dog talks back. It's not just cute, it's sacred. It means your bond has crossed the boundary between species into something deeper. A conversation without rules, but full of love. That soft whine, that echoing howl is proof that your dog doesn't see you as just an owner. They see you as family, as pack, as someone worth speaking to in the only way they can. And if all of this feels overwhelming, that's because it should. Every lick, every gaze, every sound is part of a love story being written in real time, a story that doesn't need words, but needs you to recognize it. And that story deserves a closing chapter that ties it all together. So now you know those little gestures you once thought were random. They were never random at all. From the storm of joy when you walk through the door, to the quiet lick on your hands at night, to the way they tilt their head when you speak. Each moment is part of a secret language. A language of loyalty, of comfort, of unconditional love. Dogs don't love us because we're perfect. They don't care about wealth status or mistakes. They love us because we are theirs, the ones they've chosen as family. And when they stand in front of you to protect or roll onto their back in total surrender, or forgive you seconds after being scolded, they're teaching us something we humans often forget. Love doesn't hold grudges. Love shows up every single day.